Welcome to the Lazarus and Dangerfield show. We are here because we deserve our own series, not just a movie.
Do we though? I'm not too sure.
Does anybody?
What, deserve their own series or
Yeah.
movie? Well,
Oh, maybe.
there is someone that deserves her own movie, and her name is Black Widow.
Indeed. Yes, it's
thanks
our
for the
new
pause.
movie special, and it's Black Widow
Black Widow.
Scarlett Johansson's.
How many Scarlett
She's
Johanssons are in this
Swedish.
movie?
She's Swedish. Johansson. Yes. Yes, she gets her own movie.
She does indeed.
That's not quite an origin story.
Partly.
But
it is.
you watch kind of not. They've kind of given her little bits and pieces of it.
Yeah, but they filled in the blanks of the origin story.
Yeah.
That's what you need. You don't need the kind of, the training montage.
Before I was an Avenger, I made mistakes. And a lot of enemies.
You saw it slightly before me. Well, we have two very different experiences because I streamed it and you watched it at the cinema. And that was a big point of contention for this film, actually. If you remember early summer or spring, they were like, oh, it's going to be a streaming movie. There's going to be no cinema. And people thought it would flop.
I thought they were always adamant it was going to be a cinema movie.
Yeah. But they did do it both. And it's been a huge box office draw. It's been one of the biggest draws. So COVID is, I want to say winding down. It's not winding down, but people are going back to normal now.
According to the UK government, from the 19th of July, COVID is just going to disappear. We can just go back to normal and, carry on about our lives, and no one else is going to get sick or die ever.
Yeah.
But I'm not a politician.
Yeah. Well, maybe the next MCU thing, instead of fighting Thanos and Doctor Doom or anything, they could be fighting COVID. They could be looking for a cure, saying, well, you guys, how long have you waited for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3? Maybe let's fight COVID for you and we can get it a bit sooner.
Look, if a smart Hulk can invent time travel, I'm sure he can come up with a cure for COVID in no time at all.
Yeah, there we go.
So that's it.
You, Mr.
Movie done. Movie done.
So, anyway, Black Widow. Yes, it's new. There's been a few reviews of these already out on the internet. Obviously, with doing Spider-Man this week, we thought it tied in very well, being that they're part of the same universe. And with the new Spider-Man trailer, feels like there's a new Marvel trailer every week. And on top of the TV shows, some very, very busy, well-paid actors. So, what did we think of Black Widow?
Okay, well, first of all, I'm going to start off with watching it in the cinema. And it's the first time I've been back to the cinema since August of last year. They've basically been shut down. And that was a good feeling. I wanted to go see it at the cinema. I could have streamed it for the same price as going to see it at the cinema, but I was like, I want to go back. And it was nice to be sat there and to have the MCU intro at the title screen and just be back watching an MCU movie on the big screen where it's meant to be seen, and that was good. That's what I enjoyed. I obviously enjoyed the film as well. The title screen wasn't the best part, but I enjoyed this movie. I know it's got very mixed reviews. It probably is a little too little, too late to bring in like a Black Widow movie. Maybe it should have been earlier in the MCU movies. It feels a little bit out of place, maybe. But what a great cast! Absolutely great cast. Florence Pugh as Yelena, her sister. David Harbour as the Red Guardian.
Hopper from Stranger Things.
Yep. And obviously Rachel Weisz,
Mrs. 007.
Mrs. 007, also from The Mummy. She's brilliant in the Mummy.
The Mummy. She looks old, but I don't know if that's because of the movie that they made her look old, or she's just aged. I don't know.
I think I think she's just aged naturally.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. What a great cast! That was a great little group of people, and it was funny, and they
clicked well together. They
worked really well
together.
Here's what's gonna happen.
Natasha, don't slouch.
I'm not slouching.
You're going to get the back hunch.
Listen to your mother.
Oh my God, this.
Up.
All right, enough, all of you.
I didn't say anything.
and also Ray Winston.
As
basically big bad.
Yes.
Bringing
that
those
was odd.
acting
That was
chops.
very. I found that odd casting, actually, very odd casting. But yeah, I didn't hate it. It did seem a little bit out of place. But there you go. Who hasn't been in an MCU film now? So why should I be surprised?
But still, even towards the end of the film, he just kind of comes into his own. And you're like, that's why he gets paid the big bucks. I mean, that's some good acting right there. But as a whole,
was it good acting from him? I felt like it was
in
basically him with a kind of Russian accent, a kind of.
I think it's a good film. It's not the best MCU film.
Yeah.
I would put it kind of very middle range. How many movies is it? 24 now.
We should say basically it takes place after Civil War, doesn't it? Where she's wanted by the government.
War.
Yeah. So she's wanted by the government because she helped Captain America and basically helped Bucky escape, and so she's broken the Sokovia Accords and she's being hunted down. Yeah. So, and they inform you that Clint and Ant-Man have been captured or house arrested. And,
in case you've not seen any of the other movies.
So yeah, it's she's on the run, and
you get the origin story of how she came to be.
Yeah,
that was a great intro. I really liked that. It's her as a kid and Lena as a younger sister, and they're like a wholesome American family, but they're Russian undercover agents.
So I took issue with that because I was like, I'm sure kids didn't have blue hair back in the 90s. I'm sure that's a kind of recent thing, like the early 2010s. I knew a guy, but
I knew a guy.
That was, and everyone dyed their hair and things like that. And I only knew one person.
America is a big place.
So sure, I don't know. I just felt like that was a little bit out of place. But anyway.
But yeah, so they end up, the Shield are after them, and they end up having to flee. And then, they're basically the two girls are then inducted into the Black Widow program, where they're trained to be killers.
Yeah.
Basically. And that's basically the origin stuff. But I thought that was really good. I thought that was a really nice way it's done.
Look, this has a really engaging start. It really does, and it's we like we said, we were doing Spider-Man this week, and we compared the early Spider-Mans and to what MCU is. MCU is it's a machine, but it's a well-oiled machine that tends to follow a set format, and that's why you can get into it straight away. It is very engaging. There's action from the get-go, and it's good for what it is, but was this film needed? That's what I thought. I felt like it was just... Was it... It just felt like, are we giving it to her just because she's been in everything? It's like...
that is kind of what it feels like.
One? Yeah, and then Hawkeye's getting a TV series, but she gets a film? I don't know.
Yeah, that's what it kind of felt like to me. She's been in quite a few movies now. But never had her own.
But she doesn't have a power. That's the thing. Hawkeye doesn't have a power. Captain America has a power. Iron Man has a suit. T'Challa has a suit. But Thor has a power.
With everything she goes through in the movie, you'd be led to think that she might have some kind of power, because there are multiple occasions where she should even be dead or
Yeah.
seriously injured, and she just seems to walk away from
She's just
things.
really, really, really good at fighting. So yeah. Anyway, it's one thing that actually did bother me about this, and my brother picked up on this. So it was my brother's son's 10th birthday, so he finally showed him the latest Spider-Man film, and my brother was quite disappointed by the use of bad language, and there was just some unsuitable references. And bear in mind, this is a PG, or it's PG-13 or 12. It's a 12 film, so it's probably not, whether it's unsuitable for 10-year-olds or not, there's a demographic, and it taps into a demographic of children that want to watch this. And I'm not saying you should dumb it down, but we know with Deadpool what we're getting. You're not going to be showing your kid this. I was shocked by how many times they used the word shit in this film, and it was a lot.
Do you not know the lingo of today's kids?
No, but that's
fairly kind of my impression.
You could say, but
common.
we could argue that, but would they be allowed to say it at school? No. And should they be saying anything with that in it? No. Simple as that. It doesn't matter what they're hearing off the bus driver at school, because that's never been the case. Kids are aware of these words, but that doesn't mean they should be in, because it's almost like we're endorsing it then. And we're saying, well, it's acceptable. You hear it everywhere else, so why not hear it from Spider-Man or hear it from Black Widow or anyone else? Yes, maybe it's a watering down. I don't know. I just thought it wasn't needed, and I was actually shocked how much it was in this film.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
To be honest.
You've got a potty mouth, so but no, as I said, these are films that are marketed, and they are visceral and they appeal to a very young demographic, but a lot of them cannot see them because of that's why they're all 12s. And I just don't think they need to be 12s, because I don't think the violence is necessary. It's the language that they use. And I just don't think they have so many other agendas that I feel like they have to appeal to and say, oh, we have to, but
equally, you've
fundamentals
also
is
got
the
a
language.
very large adult audience to appeal to as well. And if a film is
sure,
if a film's coming out as PG, adults won't go and see it necessarily.
Yeah, but so you're telling me that adults would want to see this film just because Iron Man or whoever says swears in it? I think these are great movies.
That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that the certification makes a difference. If an MCU film came out that was a PG, I would imagine, I could be completely wrong, but I would imagine there would be a large proportion of adults that wouldn't be so keen to go see it at the cinema, maybe because it's a PG, and they'd be like, well, okay, that's much more aimed more at kids than it is at me.
Sure.
And I'll watch it, if it's streaming on something. Whereas if
I kind of agree.
It's kind of borderline. I know, like Captain America: Winter Soldier was like a 15, and that is a phenomenal film, utterly phenomenal. It is a very fine balancing act.
I'm pretty sure Infinity War might have been one. I don't know. I know what you mean, but that's why we have Deadpool and Jokers and stuff like that we know that. I don't know. Like I said, I think it's a balancing act. You're right. I was just disappointed by I don't know. Maybe it's not needed. Maybe it is.
Who knows?
It's just interesting. As I said, they tend to insert so much other things into the movie now that I wouldn't say necessary either. So, but yeah. It is the nature of the beast nowadays, isn't it?
It is what it is. If Mickey Mouse says it's all right, then we just follow the mouse.
There were some nice things in it, though. I liked. There was. There was a good line where she says to him, "I doubt the god from space has to take an ibuprofen after a fight," which I thought was quite funny. Yeah, and I couldn't imagine Thor or any of them. Yeah, and so they do remind her of the fact that she is only human,
Yeah,
which she is.
and her sister Florence Pugh points out the whole superhero landing that she does. What is that pose that you do? You're such a poser.
Yeah, and
That
this
made me
was
chuckle.
and I was going to say there's another thing. I don't know if this is something I'm going to have to revisit, but they have a waterfront like fight, and I think this tends to happen a lot. And when I say like a waterfront, like whenever in the city, they've always got like the river or whatever running along. So they're always like racing along that highway
Yeah,
that intersects a river or something. And it seems to be a theme. I don't know if this is like it's a Marvel film. We're gonna have a
river.
fight on the waterfront. On the waterfront. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. Look, as I said to you when we were talking about this the other day, to me this is the Hobbs and Shaw of the MCU. It just much like all the TV series have been great, but they feel like a better version of the Netflix TV series. They still don't feel like it's the same. It's not the film. Loki they could have quite possibly done a movie out of that rather than do a TV series. I don't think they needed to. WandaVision, they could have rightly had.
I would disagree with that. You couldn't make with these TV series. You're able to put in a lot more character development, a lot more emotion than you can.
No, I
in
agree.
A 2.5 hour movie.
I agree, but I still think they could have made a movie out of it. His has been the shortest of all the series, isn't it? 6 episodes, I think. Was WandaVision?
Falcon and Winter Soldier was
only 5?
6 episodes.
The same, but WandaVision
I think was 8.
8, yeah. But that's what I mean. I don't think people would necessarily have gone to see Falcon and Winter Soldier had it been a TV series. I think, like you said, you're right. They probably need the character development in order for people to get on board with the fact, particularly as Sam is now going to be the new Captain America. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting to this point.
Maybe you're just getting old.
No, I think I'm getting to the point where I'm getting, like a lot of people, I'm getting burnt out by the MCU. I feel like I'm watching it for the sake of watching it rather than watching it because I enjoy it. I feel like I'll miss it because I don't want to miss it. But at the same time, I just feel like, I don't know. There are a lot of people who feel like that we need a break from it. So.
Yeah, no, I see where you come from. There is, I mean, their schedule for the whole year and for the next year is just insane. Yeah. What they got coming out. Whereas you look at something like Star Wars, and it's all kind of falling apart. There's just chaos, utter chaos on the Star Wars end. No one knows what's happening. No one knows what's coming when. But then again, that reached a point where it needs a break.
Yeah. Well, they've ended the Skywalker saga, haven't they? And they need something new. And then it's can you? And we could get into a whole thing on Star Wars.
Yeah, so we could digress.
Yeah, I don't know. With MCU, don't get me wrong. Of course I want to see the new Guardians. I want to see the new Spider-Man. But at the same time, I'm just like, do I really want to invest in a load of other new characters? They might be great. They might not be. Who knows? It's like we've been doing this show and we've watched some great movies that might not get greenlit had there not been a pandemic and things like that. And there needs to be room for everyone. Yeah, there really does.
That's cool.
I don't know if Black Widow.
Well, I'm convinced myself that she could actually be a Skrull. In Endgame, she was actually a Skrull, and she could come back at some point.
Oh, sure. What, like Nick Fury?
Yeah, I think I need to go back and revisit Endgame, but I have a sneaking suspicion that there's some kind of clue in there. I could be utterly wrong, and I probably am, but I will investigate.
I think, to be honest, maybe her, Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. just might be burnt out from it, and maybe want to try something different.
Equally, now with the multiverse, you can bring someone else in as Iron Man, and obviously we've got new Captain America. You can bring Florence Pugh is blatantly going to be the new Black Widow. You can they've set it up as a proper comic book, and you can literally do anything now.
Yeah, but she's
which
going to be
is-
bad to begin with, isn't she? So they're going to
Oh,
all
who
be
knows?
bad. Look
Who
at
knows
the
where they're
Captain
gonna take
America, the Wyatt Russell Captain America. He's going to be bad, isn't he? He's going to be a
The
I'd
US
say.
agent. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was great in that role. Utterly great. Anyway, we're digressing again. We do that too easily. That's it.
Black Widow.
That's our take on Black Widow.
I was going to say we agreed on is it worth seeing? You say at the cinema, definitely at the cinema, worth it.
Only if you really want to go back to the cinema and see an MCU film at the cinema. It kind of gave me that buzz again. I was like, oh my god, this is awesome.
Yeah, I think I think it would be good at the cinema.
I would
streaming.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, streaming wise, it costs the same to stream it as it did to go to the cinema. So out of the two, I thought I'd rather go to the cinema and make it kind of a day out of it.
I would say I was in the position though, obviously, like, well, I probably could have seen this, but I think, as I said, there are a lot of people getting a little bit tired of MCU, and I'm finding just like the latest Fast and Furious, there aren't people who are necessarily wanting to go and see these films now. They feel like it's sort of come to, its end.
I don't think that at all.
Yeah,
I think they're still just as popular, but certainly with COVID still going on, there's still a lot of people reluctant to go back to a cinema.
See, I haven't. I've been in a country where cinemas have been open, and I've found it a struggle to get to see either of these films with people. So, Fast definitely had a lot more resistance than I used to be. So, and yeah, Black Widow. People love it. A lot of people getting sick of the MCU.
Yeah, so I don't agree with that. But we should agree to disagree.
We'll see.
Just as popular.
Yeah.
We'll
see.
But there we go.
Do you think that? I was going to say, well, I'll end on this. Do you think the new movies are going to be as popular as what's past?
Yes, not all. I think Eternals might be a bit of a weird one for people, but it might grow a bit like Guardians. Guardians certainly grew. It wasn't a popular comic. It was quite niche in a way, but that became huge. And probably the same with Shang-Chi as well. But I think there are definitely certain ones that will be just as popular, and they will, have huge box offices. Especially over the next couple of years. I reckon certainly from next year, the box offices will start to get back to normal, and there will be some big ones.
They're going to need to. They're definitely going to need to. So.
And there we go. That is our take on Black Widow and everything else in between, all the way up to Fast 9, which I don't know how you managed to somehow work in the Fast saga into all this everything, but you do, and I'm impressed. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. That was a lovely sniff you just did there. Beautiful.
It was a snigger. It was a snigger.
Sounds like a sniff. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and click on the little bell icon to be notified of when the next video is up and ready for you to engorge yourself on. Do you have any final words, whatever your face is, Mr. Lazarus?
No, I've said enough. I've said too much.
It's just